hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. We are playing Holler tonight. We pissed Dan off so much by killing his character in the first episode that he refuses to play with us, and I don't think he's here. It's possible he's not here, or he could be here. I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out. But yeah, we're gonna get going. Let's just jump right in because we're running a little late, so let's just do some character intros and just get started. So Chuck, tell us about Double D.
Double D punch things real good. I have a goat named Cletus right there. He's my best friend.
Yep, I forgot I have the goat sounds all
real
chimed,
nice.
ready to go. Yeah, absolutely. And is there someone there? Are you there, Dan? You ready to tell us about your new character?
I'm sort of here, you know. You kill Dan in the game and you kill Dan in real life. So
the disembodied voice of Dan's ghost. It's got a new character. We'll cover it in a few minutes when we introduce it, I guess, in game. Jeremy, tell us about Cletus.
Yeah, man, I'm playing Cletus. I'm an illiterate, belligerent, husky old mean son of a bitch. And I'm Double D's little brother.
Okay.
I got me a dog named Yeetus.
Little as in younger, right? Or are you who's bigger? Like physically bigger?
Probably Double D, I think.
I'll go with it.
Okay. Hey, that's impressive. Did you take the obese thing too, Double D? Or I know Cletus has it, right? Don't you have it?
Yeah, Cletus has a beast. So Cletus might actually be larger in size.
Yeah, that's the case he is.
Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, Double D's the better fighter than me, but I'm a sneakier thieving son of a bitch. I had to find ways to be dirty.
Right. Are you also like a thief? Do you have like good stealth and stuff?
I do have. I'm an Appalachian ninja. I got thieving and stealth.
Appalachian ninja. That's what it was. I couldn't remember the phrase. All right. Bottom row. Melissa, tell us about Louisa Palmer.
Yeah. So Louisa Palmer is our. Sorry, that wasn't an accent. I just lost the ability to speak.
It almost did. It almost sounded like a Nolans type accent going on there.
Yeah. She is our holy roller. So she has a blessed arcane background with some danger sense and some power points. Yeah, and some other stuff about her that hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, she murdered someone. We learned. I think we actually did learn that. It's one of the reasons
that we did learn. There's other things too.
You murdered other people too? Okay. Okay.
No.
All right. And now we get And now we get to the portion of the player pool that's going to confuse everybody. We have Joe, played by Bert.
I'm Joe. People call me Joe because you really can't pronounce my given name. And people say I'm strange, not because where I came from nationality-wise, just I got more of an affinity towards machines, more so than man. And people just say I'm a little creepy, I guess. I don't know. Just rather spend time around the machines. Just how it is.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. And now we've got Amian, played by Joe.
Yes. So I'm playing Amian Rown, the kid who I basically built just to get a whole bunch of bennies and be kind of good at a million different things. We'll see if that was a bad idea or not as we get into other situations.
Well, I mean, you're the one who was holding the old man in your arms when he died. So, I mean, do we blame you for the death?
I was pretty lucky, in my case at least.
You were lucky.
I survived. Yeah, worked out. So it's currently going pretty well for me.
Yeah. I think we should come up with a nickname for Amy and somehow justify calling him Bert so that we have Bert played by Joe and Joe played by Bert. That'd be great. And then Jeremy can be Chuck and Double D can be Jeremy, and it's just crazy. But yeah. All right. Let's jump in. So we've got one session under our belt. So if this is the first time you're watching this is a new setting in Savage Worlds. It's just, the PDFs and stuff are out. The actual physical books aren't out yet. But the basic gist of it is that it's sort of like a 1930s-ish Appalachian apocalypse, like an alternate Appalachia, excuse me. And it's a world that's kind of cut off from the rest of the world. So the Holler, like where we're at, is like cut off through a thing called the otherness, this strange sort of misty wall that kind of keeps everybody who's stuck in the Holler here, and they can't get out and kind of connect to the rest of the world. And it's always been this way, or at least memories kind of fuzzy in some ways, and how long it's been this, like people always, they can never quite figure out how time quite works here and there. But the big boys are this like industrial group, these sort of group of elite oppressors who are kind of exploiting the workers in the land and such for their industrial endeavors. They're kind of the bad guys in the whole thing. So that's sort of the gist of the actual setting. Now, in terms of like the whole idea of the campaign is that you all are a bunch of troublemakers and freedom fighters who are trying to rally folks to revolt against these big boys, at least eventually, right? So last session, you all were recruited to join an underground revolution by a woman by the name of Ella Mae Hawkins. And Ella Mae is like sort of the leader of this de facto revolution. She's a mother of 6. She works in a textile town called Ashdown, and you were all called to a meeting at a speakeasy called Stump Bumpers in Ashdown, or near Ashdown, I should say. While you were waiting for you all were chatting and such, talking about your mutual dislike of the big boys and the various run-ins you've had, including some murder. So a fella by the name of Mort Smith was eavesdropping, kind of came over, sort of was picking a fight a little bit. Joe hit him in the face with a wrench, and just a brawl ensued at that point. A couple people got killed. Cletus killed a guy with a tin beer stein, just some random textile worker. I think it was Double D and Joe and Louisa managed to take down Mort before he ran away. But sadly, the old man, Dogmore, he bled out in the arms of the youngest player in the party, Amian, and he died. And it's at that point, with 3 people dead, that kind of cooler heads prevailed amongst everyone. And everyone just kind of looked at it like maybe it's like oh man, we just killed 3 people. There's 3 people dead in here. And everyone kind of started to move and go their separate ways. When Ella Mae showed up, though, she was pretty upset. She like, you're drawing too much attention to yourselves and like too much violence, killing the good people here. Like, these are good people. You're not supposed to kill them. And so she gave you all a bit of a talking to. Ashley, thank you so much. I will take those bennies. Thank you. They're all for me. Once things kind of died down, she kind of told you about what she wanted you to do, your actual mission. So that is to do something about Finster Goad. Finster Goad is a shift boss. He works at a spinning room in the main textile mill for Ashdown, and he's a former like just normal person, like run-of-the-mill Holler resident. He was just a regular old member of the population, nothing really tied in with the big boys at all. But for some reason, he's just taken to cruelty lately. And he's just mistreating folks. And you got a couple little anecdotes about that here and there, about the cruel things that he's done. And Ella Mae would like you all to do something about it. Non-violent, preferably, but, if it happens, it happens. And she also encouraged you all to take jobs in the mill so that you can see just how bad these people here have it. And maybe not be so quick to kill them with beer steins and stuff. But anyway, so that's it. So that's where we're at. I see Dan. We can see him now. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah. I put all the things back to where they were at the start of the day, and believe it or not, they work again.
Okay.
Well,
that's perfect timing, because a few days have passed since that incident at the Stump Bumpers. You all have been laying low outside of town, keeping to the hills and the thickets near Ashdown. Found yourselves a hidden, out-of-the-way serpent church to sort of lay low in and have a roof over your heads, and you had yourselves a funeral service for old Dogmore. And in the process of that, someone sent word to Dogmore's family, and his son, Douglas, came showing. So Dan, tell us about Douglas. Oh no, we can't hear him now.
Yeah, I'm keeping myself muted here while I'm not doing anything with my life. Douglas, more commonly known as Douglas, is Dogmore's son, who's not got such a strong affinity for dogs. Partly because Dogmore loved the dogs so much, but not so much Douglas.
Love the dogs more than love his kin, right? Okay.
Yeah.
What does he look like?
Kind of your typical mountain man, lumberjack kind of guy. Nice long beard.
Okay. Okay.
Lives out in the woods.
Would you say that the death of Dogmore's father is enough to be the grudge that kind of gets him involved with the group, or is there something more that Douglas has against the big boys?
I mean, he's kind of more an outdoors guy himself. Of course, the big boys are slowly but surely corrupting the outdoors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, there's a
So
whole...
this is kind of the final straw, but...
You might even have some connections with the Wardens, which is this kind of network of mountain men that are kind of out there protecting the environment here and there, and like kind of off on their own. They're not part of it. You might even have a connection with that. It's possible. Something we could explore down the road, assuming you live, which is pretty bad assumption.
Unlikely.
So
check in again in 2 hours.
Yeah, so check in in about an hour and a half or so. All right, so we'll say the funeral is passed. Everyone's met each other. We don't need to do a full meeting again. You know what your job is. LMA has left it up to you all. Got to take care of Finster Goad. What do y'all want to do?
Gotta go get us a job. We'll keep an eye on things.
Yeah, man, go in there and case that joint. Look for
Go
all
real
the
hard.
things.
Go get a job. I'm not going to work hard.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So the
steal something.
3 of you want to go get a job at the mill?
Oh yeah,
Go get a job.
gotta get a
That's
job.
4.
All right, that's 4.
I
You
count
don't have
4.
to. Just saying, like that was one of the things that she said. There's other ways.
Yeah, Bert, you're
Mhm.
muted, by the way.
I would.
I'd like to get a job.
Okay.
I'd like to work on something.
Okay. What about Amian?
He will try to avoid working as much as possible.
Okay.
Claiming he'd rather just gather information in
Okay.
other ways.
Sure. Okay.
Prime
so
working age.
he is like, what are you, like 14, 15? What are you?
Yeah, I think he's 14.
You'd have
So-
tenured by now, man. Like you've been
Yeah.
working there so long.
We're supervisor.
All right, so you guys head into Ashdown. Now, Ashdown, like you've been on the outskirts of it before. The Speakeasy wasn't actually in Ashdown proper; it was on the outside. Speakeasies are not like sanctioned places. And you head inside and the town itself, and you're told that it's not too difficult to get a job. It's because basically they're asking, they're looking for anybody really at this point. Like they have kind of these heavy orders that are coming in from Samuel Ashdown and some other fancy things here and there, and they need like more and more people. So as you pull into town, it's possible you've been to Ashdown before. It's a common place. Like there's sort of two big landmarks that you see. One of them is the textile mill itself, and the other, which is this fairly large, kind of blocky looking building with all sorts of different fumes being spouted up into the sky. And you can see that there's a decent run of folk that are just sort of matriculating towards it, and there's a whole other shift that's matriculating down from it as maybe it's a little bit past dawn. You can see that there is like a city center. It's a company store, a couple other odds and ends here and there. You also see what looks like flogging posts and stuff here and there. People kind of milling around as it looks to have been used recently. And the other major landmark you see is this really fancy looking home, like a mansion, kind of up on a hill. It's got this big old like fence, like iron fence that's in like all sorts of guards around it. And you would know, or someone could easily point out that that's like the vacation home of Samuel Ashdown, who the whole town's kind of named after here. One of the big boys, basically. No one really sees him too much, but when they do, he's kind of an eclectic guy, wears a lot of bright, strange clothes and stuff like that. But the 5 of you head up, kind of move inside, and yeah, you don't really have any trouble. You kind of give a name here and there, whether it's your own or someone else's, doesn't really matter. No one really seems to care too much. But you're immediately kind of given direction on where to go, and you head on back to a very, very noisy room. You can see that these long rows of closely spaced and high-speed spinning machines that are just kind of going absolutely crazy. You can see there's a couple dozen folks that are all set up in sort of these different clumps where they're working together. You can see that there's like 3 or 4 people, including some children, at each one of these machines that are kind of working as some kind of team. And you immediately kind of start going through a sort of basic training process. That's probably overstating it a bit. Amian, what would you be doing while the 5 of them head to work?
I would be trying to scout around like just the area and gather as much information as I can about this plant. I don't know if is this like an area that we are all assumed to be from? I guess I'm not sure how familiar people would be about like all the different small towns and stuff in the area.
Ashdown's one of the bigger towns, probably the biggest town, I think, in Holler. Whether or not you've been here is entirely up to you. It's perfectly reasonable to be. It's perfectly reasonable not to be. It's entirely up to you. It's the textile capital, basically. This section of the Hogback Hills. So it's up to you.
I'm gonna say Amian probably is not very familiar with this area.
Okay.
And is just trying to gather as much as he can about the layout, people, important figures to know or avoid or tail, like that type of stuff. He just wants to get as much street smarts as he can as fast as possible.
Is there any like particular people that you're looking to get information on, or like are you looking to do like background on anyone in particular, or just sort of like getting what's the scuttlebutt, so to speak?
Pretty much everyone important related to the mill would be like first priority.
Okay, how about you do this? You can either roll, if you want, you can say like a common knowledge, or you can roll if you want to say a persuasion, like you're going around talking to people, or common knowledge, you're just going around listening and poking around, and this could take a while.
Okay.
So either one of those would be fine.
I think the common knowledge would be better to start.
Okay.
He's kind of just going to start as like hands off as possible, or as quiet as possible.
Okay. What is that? Success was raised? Is that what I saw? Yes.
Yeah, it looks like.
Okay. I'll give you a couple things. So since you're specifically asking about people, I mean, obviously you already know about Samuel Ashdown, but you do know that one of the direct supervisors, like Samuel Ashdown, despite being like the big head honcho, it's never really here. Doesn't really take on like a particularly hands-on approach with what goes on here. He's often in the city, which is sort of like the code for outside of the Holler, basically. But the direct supervisor is his nephew, a man by the name of Worth Ashdown. Not a whole lot's pretty much known about him, but he does seem to be the one who's kind of in charge of the mill. Like he makes the decisions over like, you know, who the shift bosses are, which is what like Finster is, and like who, you know, any other goings on. So that's one bit of info you would get. Let's see. So that's probably the only person of note that you would need that you don't already have. But I'll give you something
get like
else.
a general sense of what people think of him? Do I get the sense, because he's like the nephew, so is it like clear that he's only there because of nepotism, or is he actually like semi-competent at what he's doing?
Everyone, the general sense you get is that everyone's just sort of kind of cowed into submission by the Ashdown family. So like no one really has too much of a like a good or bad opinion on Ashdown. A lot of them are afraid. And what you generally get is the place is kind of chaotic. Like there's rules and laws and things, but they're enforced somewhat erratically, like on the whim of whatever, you know, the Ashdowns feel like doing. And so sometimes like a crime 1 week might kind of go relatively unpunished, but the next week you could be publicly flogged or kind of sent up to the Folsom prison city or something like that. And speaking of which,
Okay.
you do actually. I'll say this: one of the other things you get is that there has actually been a public flogging within the past couple of days. And apparently, the operator of the stump bumpers, Harley Rice, was publicly flogged and embarrassed in front of the town for his role in owning the speakeasy and allowing a member of the company to be killed and all sorts of horrible things, and no one's seen him since. So that's one.
Is that
thing.
related to the thing that we did? And
Yes, he is the guy that was hiding behind the bar that kept kind of giving Cletus moonshine drinks so that people would not hurt him and stuff. Okay.
All right.
All right, so we'll kick over then to the group that's inside now. So you guys go inside, and you're immediately put to work, and you're gone through very limited training. And you can see that there's about 100 different workers in a relatively cramped space. And, you know, after a while, you notice, like, someone points out who Finster is, and you can see him just sort of, like, stalk in the rows. You can see he's like got this whip that he occasionally like smacks against his hand, and it's hard to hear, but when he comes up like right behind these different groups of people that are working the machines, like it gets loud at that point. It's got like a chain to it as well. Most workers that you're introduced to are fairly quiet. They seem to kind of be really absorbed in what they're doing. But there's also like permeating the room is a fairly heavy sense of bullying. Like you can, like when everyone makes a mistake, you can see that people just sort of jump on top of them, start taunting them, and you all being like greenhorns and stuff, you're getting a healthy dose of that as you walk in. You are immediately put to work without any real training. And what are there, 5 of you? You're probably split between 2 different machines. Some of you are probably serving as minders. Some of you are probably serving as piecers, which are sort of like the different roles that you take. But you come up to these machines, and it's like they're just going a mile a minute. Like they look really, really dangerous. And like when there's like one fellow who's trying to tell you how it works here and there, but it's like kind of mixed together with a bunch of harassment and stuff, and you can't really hear all of it.
Can I try something, Jeff?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so while this is going on, Joe kind of just closes his eyes, listening to the machines, and he kind of is listening for one that's sounding a little off, a little eccentric, like it's about to go, gears worn, or, you know, he'll walk over to it and say, pardon, sir, this one here is about tuckered. It's gonna go anytime. If you like, I could take a look at it. I'm real good with fixing things.
Do you say this to the guy who's Finster, like, or do you just say this to whoever's working the machine?
Whoever's our boss at the moment.
So you know that your shift boss is Finster, and so he kind of, so he'll wander over, and as you start talking, he'll just be like, "What are y'all doing? Get to work. No one's gonna pay you a lick of nothing if you ain't working."
And the machine blows the thimble there, sir. It's gonna hurt your productivity. I mean, you can let me look at it real quick. I can keep it working. It's gonna go soon.
Kind of eyes you up and down. It takes a really kind of close look at you. Roll persuasion.
Let's see. Persuasion is one of those things I don't have. Woohoo! Here we go. Hey, I got a 4.
Hey.
Oh, it's wrong on the wrong die. So, but I got a 4.
It's still good enough. I mean, a 4 is good enough. Okay, so he kind of eyes you up and down. He sees that you got a little wrench probably like on your belt and stuff. All right, I'll give you one chance. If you do anything to mess up this machine, he just kind of pulls the whip up, whack, right in his hand as fast as, as hard as he can. He's got this glove that he's like smacking almost like a hawker's glove. Anything you do to it, If it breaks, we break you. You got me, boy?
It's well on its way to being broken now, sir. I'll make it better.
Okay. So you can go ahead and you can start messing around
Okay.
and start trying to. So this will probably take a little time, and then we'll eventually do like a repair roll for you.
The idea here is to hopefully get into a position where they just leave me alone and let me keep working on things.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
You know?
The rest of you, while this is happening, so while like Joe kind of moves off and he's inspecting this machine, you can see that he's already kind of got the attention of Finster. And again, it's not hard to figure out who Finster was. People would easily point him out to you. You probably met him when you first came in. But another fella, this fairly exuberant guy, kind of hops off his machine as like you guys are beginning to sit down and at the different machines that you're, and he starts to kind of look over his shoulder a little bit warily over at Finster and trying to avoid his gaze. But Finster's got his back to you all now as Joe is sort of talking to him. And it kind of gives him a moment, and he's like, and he just sort of starts to explain. He's like, these here spinning machines are Ashdown originals, all right? State of the art, but they get their thread round real tight and real fast. And he starts pointing at different bits and pieces, and you can hear some of it, but some of it's hard to hear too. You see the bobbins on the spinner? Well, as soon as you see them filled with thread, you pull them off and you pop another bobbin up there real quick. Now you gotta do it real quick if you don't want old Finster glaring at you or something worse, one of his damn lackeys coming by and whacking you on the head with this or that. And one of you's got to be moving up and down the roads. You got to be snagging the empties, and you got to fix any snags you see, and you got to do it real fast, mind you. And you don't want to let that thread break. And he's just kind of going over this stuff, like this rapid fire stuff. Now, watch out for the belts. They're going faster than you'll realize, and they're going to give you a worse hurt than your daddy ever did if you get caught up in one. Liable to lose a finger or something worse, maybe. And they got blades, too. Really sharp blades, too. Ain't figured out exactly what for, but that's what good old Papa Ashdown, always innovating, right? And he turns around at this point, like Finster has allowed Joe to start working on the machine, and you see Finster's kind of coming and looking at you all, and he's just got this look. Get to work! Let's go now! Just kind of screaming at the top of his lungs at you. So, y'all sit down and work?
I'll sit down and start working, pulling bobbins and throwing clean ones on. And I don't remember what it is with the string, but I'm going quick.
Okay.
Louisa
To act like an expert.
Okay.
Louisa wants to kind of get like a song going.
Okay.
But I'm going to assume that there's like Big Boy approved work song. So this isn't going to be some like,
Everyone
unallowed.
is quiet. The only time you ever really hear anything loud enough to get over, it's an extraordinarily loud room. These machines drown out everything with the exception of horrific laughter and bullying and taunting and stuff like that. If anyone kind of trips and falls, you can see that there's a handful of folk. Not everyone kind of engages in this. And you can actually even see that there's some trepidation on a few workers' faces about whether they should kind of like point and laugh. But it seems like there's not a whole lot of camaraderie. And so, like, there doesn't seem to be a song or anything going on.
So I'm going to try one and see how it goes. Because we just kind of got all those instructions that were kind of rapid fire. So I'm kind of turning that into like a repetition and on like a good rhythm for the work that we're doing.
Okay.
See how it goes.
All right. Okay. So you're looking to roll something? Or
Performance?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Oh, and we do have some bennies. We have quite a few bennies, actually.
Oh, those were
so
Ashley gave them to me, is what I recall.
we've got 12. So
She
even
says,
if you take
finish them.
even if you take the Ashley bennies, we still have plenty.
Right.
So I am going to use one of these, not one off my sheet, and roll it again. That's better. 5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, looking around, like, the only people who probably could hear you are the folks that are immediately to the one side or the other of your machine. It's just too loud for like the other 100 people in here to possibly hear it, like no matter how high you sing. But you do notice that amongst those near you, there are a good, like one of the sets of machines you can see of the 4 people working it. 3 of them kind of start like their foot stomping a little bit. A few of them start kind of singing along, and they kind of look over to you. You even get a smile. Kind of it quickly fades the minute like Finster turns around, and like you get a sense that at least a couple folks around here are taking to it, but then the others you hear just taunting like, "Shut your damn mouth! We got work to do." And like he kind of looks up towards Finster as he's walking past, and Finster kind of gives him like this approving nod for like shutting you down, screaming on you. I need the 4 of you to make a repair roll. Joe, you don't have to just yet. I'm going to say, by the way, character names. So when I say Joe, I'm referring to Bert's character.
So we're all making repair rolls?
All 4 of you, as you sit down to work at these machines, will make repair rolls.
If anybody wants any bennies, we have bennies.
I didn't expect that.
I'm going to... Oh my gosh.
God dang it.
Oh, I just had to raise you.
Oh my gosh.
I see your 8 and raise you a 19.
Holy crap. Okay.
Right thing. All right.
Okay.
Things escalated.
I know what I'm doing. You get a song, you get a rhythm, you get shit done.
And it is actually fairly impressive, like how quickly Louisa and Cletus and even Douglas. It's not the prettiest, but it's workmanlike Douglas as you kind of get to it.
He's not trying too hard.
Yeah. However, at a certain point, the machine comes grinding to a halt as Double D gets caught in it. Chuck, can you go into the roll tables and can you roll on the spinning machine accidents table?
Oh no.
Oh no.
However, you rolled the best thing. So maybe it's just like there's some really awful things, by the way, at the table. So maybe it's just the singing that Louisa gives. It kind of gives you the perfect kind of rhythm, but you notice that the machine's just running way too fast. Like, and you can barely keep up with it, Double D. But somehow, despite your big old busted fingers, you're just. Or maybe you get cut like 4 or 5 times, but your hands are so filled with calluses that you don't even feel them.
I'm so bad, I'm good. I take it.
And you see Finster just suddenly standing behind like Double D while this is happening. And he's got like the whip up, ready to smack on Double D. And he just stops for a second and be like, well, all right, son. Keep that up. Keep that up.
Excuse me, Mr. Finster. But did you know that a happy worker is a more productive worker?
He looks at you. He's got this dirty kind of squirrel look on his face.
All that singing songs and stuff really made us productive.
He walks right over to you. And while you're saying this, he's got this big old smile on his face now. He feels pretty happy about what just went down with Double D. But he rears back with his wampin chain and he smacks old Douglas with it. What's your parry?
It's 5.
Okay, so it's not gonna break the skin or anything like that, but you feel like a sting on the back of your shoulder there where he hits you, and he says,
oh,
I
well,
don't give it.
Can I fall into the machine a little bit?
You want to fall in the machine? Yeah.
I want to use performance for this to like ham it up, like where he whips me and I get sent like.
I have something I'd like to add into after that.
Okay, so go ahead and you want to fake an injury like with the machine? Is that what's going on?
I want to make it look like him hitting me sends me into the machine.
Okay, but you don't want to go into the machine.
I want to find. My goal is to like mess it up a little bit, but.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Roll a performance test. If you fail, you're rolling on the spinning mishap table.
Oh god!
All right, we'll do it because why not?
Oh man, you guys are crushing it tonight.
All right.
Wow.
Okay, so you bump into the thing, but you don't manage to get your hand or any of your appendages caught in the machine, which could be horrible, by the way. And yeah, you manage to kind of make it look, and he just says, "Boy, you best not mess up that machine," and he hits you again.
I would
Go
love
ahead there, Cletus.
So being the highly moralist sort of person that I am, I've actually been looking at this machine, what's spinning real fast, and he likes to carry that whip in his hands.
I'm trying to get him to whip into the machine.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
that's exactly what I'm wanting to do too. Maybe I'm just the right angle. I've got that thieving skill. What does the sleight of hand? And I think it'd be real fun while he's rearing in to hit my friend that just, oh no, the tip of it went into that machine that my brother got going super fast.
Okay, so you want to try to, like, on one of the recoils, just sort of like
Mhm.
bump him at the right time. Yeah,
Whip his
you know,
arm
give
up
it
a little
a
bit.
go. Give it a go.
Yeah. You know, Douglas has suckered him in a little bit. And then it's just a workplace accident. It happens.
Okay, so yeah, you manage to, as he's reaching back, as like he's kind of like on the recoil from one of the hits on Douglas, you do manage to just sort of bump him ever so slightly, and that causes the, you know, you do it intentionally, but you make it seem like it's an accident or something,
Mhm.
right?
Because I'm
And-
obese. It's like one of those things where you
Yeah.
turn, like you just kind of, oh.
Yeah, you make it look like a reasonable accident, but we know it was intentional. He doesn't know that. And yeah, the chain just gets caught up, and you just hear the worst grinding of metal on metal as like the machine completely breaks down and just sort of wrenches free. Who was on it at the time? I think it's Double D and Louisa were both on it. Okay. Both of you roll like an agility test
Oh no.
to see if you can wrench your
pick
hands
agility,
free
didn't
before horrible things happen to this thing.
I may need a Benny for this one.
Well, we've got him.
Oh my. The
What
aces
is
are
going-
flowing tonight. Yeah,
Wow.
both of you managed to like get your hands
Because
free,
we
your arms
sacrificed
free.
Dan last session.
That's what it was. You sacrificed Dogmore to the blood god. Both of you managed to wrench your hands free before like all sorts of different machinery begins to sort of bend and cut, and he's like, "Argh!" And he looks over at you, Cletus. He's got this like fire in his eyes. Boy, I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. You're gonna get my whip out of that there machine. You're gonna bring it over to me in my office. If you don't, well, I'm gonna get them boys over there. And he points over, and there's like this group of like these fairly big looking, thuggish looking guys, like probably as big as Double D, not like obese, like big, but I'm gonna get them, take you outside, and teach you a lesson. You got that?
Of course, sir. I understand you totally.
All right, get to it. All right, you. And he kind of shouts down towards where Joe's been working. Joe, go ahead and roll repair to see if you can get this thing working. Oh yeah.
Nice.
While this is all going, you're just kind of moving a few things around here and there, and it's like it's in decent condition. It's probably some of the best machinery you've seen. Like this is some of the higher tech stuff that you've probably gotten to look at. Like this, he's not wrong when he's saying this is more high end gear. But you're able to sort of piece it together pretty quickly what's wrong with it. It just looks like one of the bobs got like kind of caught in something. You just sort of wrench a few it free. But he calls down to you. He's like, "Hey, fix it, boy. Get on over here and fix this one too. Your big old dumb friend of yours almost broke the damn thing. And you better get fixed quick. If it don't get fixed quick, I'm going to break both y'all."
I sure am sorry. I got these big old stupid.
I
clumsy
don't
hands.
want to hear it. Yeah, you got big old stupid hands. And if you don't want them broken, you better get your ass in there and get that freaking whip.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll run over after I'm
Okay.
satisfied this one's working. And it's like, oh, you did a number on this one.
He did, man. What a real shame. Someone would be looking at this. He'd look a fool, wouldn't he?
Rest of y'all, there's a machine right there. Get your asses over there and start working there. You points right at Double D and Louisa and Douglas too, I guess. The three of you points over towards like this other machine. Right now, go sit down, start spinning.
I'll start pulling the whip out of the machine.
Okay.
There. I'll
Fix
go
it.
spin on the other one.
Lisa
Okay.
just keeps singing her song. And
All right.
Are there any little pieces of like sharp metal that maybe came flying loose from all that?
High or low?
Huh.
Nothing.
Doesn't have to be
not-
any big. Even if it's just
Yeah.
like tiny little slivers.
maybe a tiny little sliver, but nothing that's like shiv worthy. We'll say.
Does this
Like
thing have a
shavings,
handle
at
on it?
What kind of handle are you thinking?
Like maybe it's
Oh, the
got like
whip?
some leather wrap around it or something.
You mean
Oh,
the
the whip. The whip. Yeah,
Yeah.
the whip does. Yeah, sure. I misunderstood.
Because
Yeah,
I'd
the
love
whip-
to just grab some just tiny little pieces of sharp things to kind of put in between
Okay.
little pieces of that whip handle. I'm gonna go give it back to him.
Okay, fair enough. You start getting that. Joe, Joe, you can be repaired as you start working on this one and helping out. You can take a +1 because Cletus will be helping. And
Maybe
then
Joe
I need,
can hook you up with some of those pieces of metal.
Mm.
and then I'm also gonna need as Double D, Dogless, and Luisa sit down and start working at a different machine. I'm gonna need another repair test from you all as you start working on this machine.
Oh
Alright.
boy.
God, this is a dangerous game we're playing.
It
Does that make
is.
life worse for us?
And we do have bennies.
Put a 7 on the repair.
Oh, I'm gonna need one there.
Can you Benny a
You
critical?
cannot
fail?
Benny a critical
I
fail.
don't think
well.
you can.
Goodbye, Douglas.
Oh, no.
In an hour.
No, I think we killed another dog more.
I think Dan's dead. Okay, so Chuck, did you want to Benny that too?
No.
I
Okay.
just
We've
need
got
to
plenty.
show
We've
her
got
first hour of
11.
these sessions and call it a night.
All right.
Well,
Joe,
Louisa
Cletus,
insists I'll Benny it.
it takes about 10-15 minutes for you all to kind of sort out like and get because the whip's got chains and
no.
stuff in it as well. But the
Sorry.
two of you all, you managed to do it, but you can see that some of his like those like little submissive kind of goons of his kind of come over and are kind of watching you while it's happening. Finster has moved on to a different part of the area. However, Dogless and Double D, there's something about this new machine that's just not quite lined up like the other. And the minute you start working, it just turns on you like it's got a hatred for you and everything about you. Chuck, roll on that table one time. Dan, roll on it twice.
Oh no. All right. That's the first one.
Again, those are not that bad.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait. I thought you were only supposed to roll twice.
Dan,
I'm supposed to roll
Dan's,
twice.
Dan needs to roll twice.
Oh, why
I
did
see.
it?
I see 3
I
rolls
think-
for
No, no.
Douglas.
I think I was clicked on Douglas's token.
Which one did you
Okay.
roll? The first one?
Who's or
I
who's?
think I had the first one.
You
Okay.
did the first one, and I did the last two.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
started with the finger
Oh, no.
and went to the arm.
So Double D, you didn't get your finger cut off or anything like that, but you can feel your arm just get yanked in, right? But you're strong enough to pull it back out
Not
before any
today.
parts of yeah. But you go ahead and take fatigue. As you can feel, your arm is now just numb. Like your whole arm is just numb from like
God.
all just above the bicep all the way down.
Got a meeting with the stranger later tonight.
Okay. Oh, jeez. All right. So, Dogless, let's go through these one at a time. So, the first one, your finger gets
God.
caught at first. Go ahead and try to soak it. So, roll a vigor test, try to soak, and see if you keep this thing. Okay, you're good. You keep your finger. All right.
I'm
may not
waiting for the
matter.
second part of this though, for that not to matter.
Yeah, you take a wound. If it's not soaked, a finger on your dominant hand is lost and becomes a permanent injury. That's not fine. Otherwise, so none of that happens. But you just basically take a wound as your finger is just sort of like all roughed up from it. So go ahead and mark a wound. Now the second one, while you're kind of maybe as you're like reaching the other arm in to pull the finger out, your other arm gets caught now as you get your whole arm free. So your arm is wound up in the machine and crushed or mangled for 4 wounds. And if all wounds aren't soaked,
Oh no.
you have the one arm hindrance. Oh my god, Dan.
Thanks for making a new character, Dan.
Oh,
I took
don't
an arm
know why I
last week.
bother.
Jeff took an arm this week.
So sorry, my friend. All right, go ahead and roll soak on this one. We do have bennies.
So there's 4 soak rolls, and we've got plenty of bennies.
I have to make 4 of them.
You have
Yes,
to
if
make
all
one
wounds
soak.
aren't soaked.
You have to make
For
one
each.
vigor roll, and it has to soak 4 wounds.
Okay,
So you need
it's one
4,
roll
8,
for all
12.
4.
You just need a 16. All you need
Just
to do is roll a
16.
You need
16.
16 to keep your arm.
Oh my
Yeah,
Congrats.
that's
gosh.
not happening.
Don't roll you.
Oh,
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 oh, oh,
oh,
Oh my god. Oh my.
oh my God!
Why?
Holy shit!
Holy.
I don't even know what to do with myself now.
All of you watch this horrific moment as you see him reach, like, we'll say his right arm was the first one that got the finger wound, and he's reaching in with his left arm to get it, and like his left arm goes in, and then suddenly it's just yanked in, and all the way up to the shoulder, he just pulled into the machine, screaming something fierce as the pain. Maybe a few of you come over to help pull him free, and as you start to pull him free, like, dog, it hurts, man. It hurts something fierce, but you manage, like, and you almost, you feel like the blades just sort of cutting and grinding into you, but as they pull your arm out, miraculously, you look down, you got scrapes and stuff all over it. But the fact that that sucker's still intact, it's a damn miracle, man. It's a damn miracle.
That it is.
wow.
That it is.
Wow, dude.
The
That's
dice
awesome.
exploded in
Oh my
your
God.
favor.
That was amazing. Okay.
I'm literally at a loss.
Oh my God, that was awesome. Okay, on that note, let's kick it over to Amian for a little bit, see what he's doing around town. So you spent most of your morning just kind of getting the lay of the land. What do you want to do now, Amian?
I wanted to see if I could dig any information from his either whatever office or whatever, like that the what's the Finch or whatever his name is that's running the
Finster Goad, yeah.
Finster. I probably wanted to dig around either his office or other owner's office.
Yeah, those are places that would be at the mill, and it's very unlikely that you would gain access to those.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not; those aren't like open to the public or anything. That would require like probably some kind of pretty ingenious plan to gain access to it, especially since you're not working there. You know.
Yeah.
It's not impossible. It's just like it's probably not like a quick and easy roll. It'd be like a whole thing.
Right. An ongoing thing.
Yeah.
I don't really. I mean, most of what else we need to learn's at the mill, so I'd probably be. I mean, after gathering information around town, I'd be wanting to go to the mill and try and avoid detection, and just see what I can find out without getting put to work on these machines.
Right. I'm just not sure. I'm just like, when you say you're trying to find stuff out without detection, like if you go to the mill, you're not going to really get through the front door unless you're volunteering to work. Like there's no real conceivable excuse for you to go to the mill other than to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there only the
even
front door
your
to do?
age, like as a kid, like they're not going to care. You're a workable age.
Yeah, I get that. Is that the only way into the plant? Is this front door?
No, you can potentially try to sneak in or something like that. That's certainly a possibility. But
yeah,
you do know that the mill is a very busy place. There's like over 100 people, so like the likelihood of you not being seen is or at least at this time of day. This is daytime and stuff. Maybe a night shift. There's fewer people.
I'd be hoping that people think I'm just working, but moving to where I should be, and not like policing or being that attentive.
Okay, that. I mean, I don't want to discourage you from doing this, but I also don't want to bait you into doing something only to screw you over once it happens.
Sure.
You would know from talking to folks that the mill is run with a pretty, especially Finster Goad's shift, is run with a pretty firm hand. Like people are hawkishly watching. And nobody gets to like take a break without them approving it. No one gets to go to the bathroom without them approving it. No one just gets to wander the halls without them approving it. So if you go in, I'm just going to say, like, if like someone catches you, you're getting put to work.
Okay.
So,
is there like much of a process to get put to work, or would they just assume I'm one of the workers that's always been there and they just like put me on the nearest machine.
You would
Would I know
go in
that?
and you would like kind of make a mark on the roll for that shift, and then you would just kind of be put on a machine at that point.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll just try and wander around, get information, and if I fail, I'll start having to
Okay.
work until I can get away again.
Okay, so yeah, so you can head over. We'll say like midday. You head over after a couple hours have passed with others have been working at the mill. You head over. You kind of get this half shift going. You sign on, and you kind of get put into work. You can probably at some point see the rest of them, but they've already been assigned to a certain section, and since you didn't come in with them, you're just going where they put you. And so you're kind of led through this sort of different path, and you're gone through kind of the same sort of get up as they had, like that quick rapid fire. Someone kind of gives you like some kind of not a very good, employee orientation here. No one really cares, and they just sit you down and they say, get to work. And that's that. Like you're sitting down and like they're just sitting there watching, waiting for you to start spinning. So they're like, all right, go. Your turn now.
All right.
Put your arm in it like that dumbass down the hall.
Okay. So I'll do my
Do a repair roll.
it's one of the only skills I don't have.
Good thing you got all those luck, right?
Yeah. Let's see how this goes. So unskilled.
And we've got plenty of buddies.
Yeah.
So you have
There you
the
go.
Elan thing where you get the okay, yeah. So yeah, you get to work and your deft young man hands just start kind of going around, no problem. And after a few minutes of like one of the thuggish looking fellas that like seems to be under the hawkish eyes, maybe even Finster Goad walks by as a new person comes and is just like, next time tomorrow, you better be here on time, boy. You don't get half days while I'm the boss.
Oh.
And
Yep, I'm sorry. And he gets right at it. And
I didn't ask you for your life story. I told you something. You don't gotta say nothing back. And at that point, he'll kind of start moving
confusedly nods.
Okay. All right. So how did you want to go about trying to kind of collect information? Because I know that was like a task that you were looking to do.
So I wanted to see. My goal would be to like get into an office or something of someone that runs the place. So probably initially it'd just be like seeing where they walk to and from, and then get a layout from that, and then when I feel the time's right, try and book it to that office and root through stuff.
Gotcha. Why don't you just roll a notice test and you see, and we'll treat this as like if you can kind of get a pattern down or timing for it or stuff like that.
Okay.
Has he left the area, by the way? Finster?
Finster, yeah, he did. When everything went down with Douglas, he wasn't there.
Okay.
He had moved away at that point.
Too bad.
Got a 5.
Okay, 5, you can tell that there appear to be a handful of folks that he kind of, like everyone's basically working, but you can tell that there's a handful of folks that he almost is like sort of designated as, his sub-supervisors that are moving around, and like the designated taunters, they come up and they just say something mean to you every so often. They make fun of you and they call you stupid and slow and this sort of that. And then you also notice that sometimes, like whenever that happens, when someone starts piling on, you can see there's a few other folks as well. But you can tell that not everyone's on, is kind of part of that game. There's quite a few people who seem to like kind of avert their eyes. They kind of just don't want to deal anything with it. And you do notice that, yeah, there is an office. He doesn't seem to like be in it. You have to go kind of up a set of stairs, and you can see it almost like overlooks the entire workroom area. It would be tricky, but it's not impossible. It would take a stealth test, and then it would probably be opposed with noticed from some of the others. But you might be able to, with that notice test, kind of time it right.
Okay.
Okay.
Could I try to set up like leaving a little bit easier by making my way to the machine that other people my age are working on? Like, I'm assuming there's all sorts of different groups and probably a bunch of other kids.
It's scattered. I mean, there's not like there's not like this is the kids table. Like it's scattered. Like there's
Right.
there's old people working with young people, working with middle-aged people.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I'm not like the only kid next to a whole bunch of adults, and then.
Oh
it'd be
no,
more
there's people
noticeable
even
when I'm
younger
gone.
than you here. Yeah, there's people even younger.
Okay.
All right.
All
Let me
right.
kick it over to the rest of them. We'll come back. At this
Does
point,
Cletus
Cletus
still have the whip?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. At this point, Cletus, you and Joe have managed to get the whip free. What do you want to do?
So Louisa has one of the few pieces of gear that she picked up was sewing needles. So Louisa wants to like stealthily give her a couple of sewing needles over to Cletus, seeing what he's trying to do with the whip.
Yeah, man, I'm Louisa, you're the best.
Just want
the
to let
best.
you all know that metal from the machines can be a little less conspicuous than needles that came from who knows where.
That's a good point. And they're gonna come back on you if it's sewing needles. I I'm a son bitch, but like only to an extent. So I ain't gonna have nothing come back on you. But I like where your head's at.
All right. She'll
Okay.
Go back to singing her song.
All right. So Cletus, what do you do?
I'll take whatever little pieces of, small sharp pieces that I found or that Joe can wrangle up and just kind of work
Joe will
them
hand
into
you one of those just numerous sharp bits that have really no function as far as Joe can tell. They're just there to possibly cause damage to someone.
and I just want to work them in here and there throughout the leather so that upon a light grasp, no big deal. But when he reels back to hit the next person, it's gonna smart. I'm a nice person.
So Joe's plan is just to continue to fix things and make himself like just so useful, but just so like always fixing that they just start to ignore him. And so he just listen in wherever he is, what's going on.
Yeah, I think that I don't think you're gonna be able to get away with just fixing things all day. I think
I
You
mean,
know,
if Douglas keeps breaking things, maybe.
yeah, I mean like I don't think you've quite earned his trust yet.
Sure.
For that.
But that's what I'm angling for,
Yeah.
though, is just not necessarily his trust, but at least not as enmity. So he
freedom.
just like I'm just not anything to him, right? So like he
Yeah.
just ignores me for the most part, as long as I'm
Okay.
doing a good job.
I would say like if you can think of another way or two that might, something like the idea of like fixing a machine or something like that. But if you can think of like another thing or two that you might want to do that might kind of like lend credence to that sort of approach, it might be able to kind of earn you that.
How about
that
if
reputation.
I'm just like really okay? So I fixed the machines, but now how about if I'm just like really fast and good at working the machines? And so like when someone else starts to not kind of quite keep up, I'm just like doing more work, and just not even complaining about it, just doing it, doing exactly what he wants, really.
Okay. And like he comes by and like, hey boss, that kind of thing. Okay. Sure. How about roll another repair test?
That'd be the star worker.
The best you do, the better you do, sort of the quicker, you probably achieve your
Yeah,
goal.
I got you. All right. Here's the roll.
You guys are acing like
Oh wow.
crazy
Yeah, there
tonight.
we go.
Oh my god.
Aiming for employee of the month here.
23. I did like 5 people's work.
What is happening? This is insane. Oh, okay.
That makes
We gotta
perfect sense, though. He's so attuned to machines
Yeah.
that it's not a matter of like being quick. He just has a rhythm. He knows the machine's rhythm, and he just, just blanks out and just does it like he himself was a machine.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you kind of get in this rhythm, and you hear the footsteps of like Goad and some of the others kind of moving, like starting to echo behind you. Is like when that when you can hear them, they're close, and that right when they get close, that it's a split seconds before it's just like hurls of insults, and you see him like kind of clear his throat, like he's about to say something. He's like, "Well, all right, new boy. All right. Now that's what I'm talking about. All you lazy sons and daughters of bitches, Take a look over here at this young gun. Comes in here, is not here for 5 hours. He's already out spinning the lot of you. If any of y'all want to keep your damn jobs and keep putting food on your damn tables, you better start taking a lesson from this here fella right now. You got me? And he's like, his face gets all beet red and everything.
It's got to yell about something.
Yeah, he just does. He just does. Okay. Yeah. And so you get the sense that like you've kind of impressed him to some degree, you know? So Cletus, why he's over here? What do you want to do?
Well, he told me to take it up to his office, so I'm just going to play in the fact he expects me to be a big dumb son of a bitch. I'm going to go up to his office.
Okay.
I'm just going to stand there kind of all mopey like, because he done cowed me as far as he thinks. And
That's fair. All right, so you're not here then. We'll say you already left. You already went up to the office. So he's looking
plus
around.
that keeps me away from them damn machines too.
Exactly.
And I'm doing what he told me to do.
Anytime you leave and sit down at a machine, you have to roll a new repair test to see if something bad happens. Okay, so you're up there. So after
I might
he's
be looking
done,
around too while he's down there yelling.
oh yeah, for sure, no problem. Like we'll do that. So while that's happening, he's gonna look at the like Double D and Louisa and Douglas and like blood's
Torn up arm.
He's like, damn newbies don't know a damn thing about what you know what? Get your asses off the freaking machines before you break them. I got another job for the three of you. Come on, meathead, let's go. Where'd that other meathead with my whip? He's like looking around.
He done told him to do what you told him to do.
I told him to give me my whip.
Hey, office.
He kind of looks around, he looks up, and he's like, kind of, all right, three of you, we got ourselves a rat problem down the basement. I want you to get on down there, and I want you to clean the damn thing, okay? Ain't take but an idiot to get that done, and I got three of them right here, so this should be pretty damn simple for y'all. You got it?
We got
It's
to
one
clean
of
the
the
rats.
nicest things anybody said to me.
You can see that kind of annoys him. Boy. He's probably younger than you. Boy, I'll tell you.
Are we cleaning rats?
I didn't say you're cleaning rats. I'm saying you're cleaning out the damn rats. Kind of lifts his arm.
That makes
looks
more
over.
sense.
Get on with it.
That was
And he
almost
starts-
a Don Dish Soap commercial. As you see him scrubbing down the rats with a toothbrush.
I was going to do it too.
All right, so yeah, so he points you over towards like a staircase that kind of goes down to the basements, and so the three of you are tasked with that. Joe, you're not. He doesn't.
Can
yeah, go
Louisa
ahead.
roll like a notice or something as we are relocating from point A to point B? Just take in the layout and whatnot
go
of
ahead.
this place.
Yeah, and Cletus, you can go ahead and do one too, since you're up by the office.
It's a 6.
Okay, is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Is our path going any? Oh no, Cletus has got his office. Never mind. Really just looking for layout. Any? I'm gonna say layout of the room and any people that seem to be.
Okay.
I don't know how you'd quickly assess that they could be allies, but somebody
Okay.
that's not joining in with the bullying and that kind of stuff.
Are they looking at you in disgust, or are they looking away from you?
Okay. So I'll say, one sec. Sorry about that. Too much Southern talking and too much Rocket Raccoon. So you, I'll say, Louisa, you notice that, I mean, there's really nothing to the layout. It's a really big room, super hot, super humid. There's, you can see that there's, I'm trying to get you like the specifics of the room.
Like any hiding spaces, any closets, any.
No, nothing. I mean, you know that there's like there's like storage and stuff like that on like the basement is where they kind of store stuff. But it just looks like it's
We're heading to the
rows
hiding
and
space.
rows. Yeah, there's nothing you really notice about like the layout of the room. Like there's like an upper level where it looks like he's got his office. That's about it.
Okay.
In terms of potential people, as you're walking past, you notice a group of people working one of the machines, and they look up at you, and they got big old busted eye, like she's got a kind of cut lip, and she looks at you, She kind of gives you like a nod, like you know each other, and like you can see it's one of those like respectful nods, and you recognize her as being one of the people you got in a fight with at Stump Bumpers. And you look at two of the other folks that are working the machine, and it's the same people. Like you see 3 people, and you're pretty sure the one woman who kind of gives you the nod, like a kind of like a knowing, respectful nod, like not like she's not being a smartass. You didn't see her kind of get into any of the taunting. Pretty sure she's the woman who was kicking on Dogmore before Dogmore bled out. But she's also one of the people who was like, no, we gotta stop. Gotta stop this fight. So she looks to be like, you can tell she's got like this lone look on her face, and she looks at you all, and you can tell like there's almost like an ounce of, she kind of almost looks sad in some way, regretful, but she's like working. They're all hustling, sweating, hair frizzy here and there. But yeah, that's what you see.
Okay.
All right. And the 3 of you head downstairs. Cleese, how'd you do on your test?
7.
All right. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
I think for him, especially, he wants to be maybe looking more into the office, like A, look at what kind of lock is on the door, or B, if there's some sort of like window that he can look into to see if there's anything important in there.
You're illiterate though, right?
Oh yeah, I'm illiterate, but I'm just looking for something that looks fancy. I am illiterate though.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so the lock itself, you take a look at it, nothing fancy. Just look fairly simple. You nothing that you probably couldn't handle if you had the time to take care of it. And if you couldn't do it the smart way, you can probably do it the hard way and smash it open. So that certainly looks easy enough. Let me take another look. Let's see what else. So if you're looking around in his office, you do see yourself a gun that appears to be on his like kind of tucked in what looks like a gun, like he's got like one of those what's the word I'm looking for, like a gun holster that kind of, you wrap it over your shoulders and things, and and it looks like it's kind of sitting right out. Now all you can really see is the handle, but you do see that's the kind of, he's got himself a gun. He doesn't carry it on him though, it appears.
I'll remember that.
Okay.
If I see him outside this facility.
And so we'll say that's at that point you hear the stomping footsteps, and then you hear him yelling, "God dang you freaking meathead. So damn literal. You got my
hell,
whip."
man, I done messed up, and sir, I don't want to mess up no further. I want to do what you say, how you say. And I wasn't built for them machines. I was usually, if you look at my knuckles, you'll see I was usually meant for doing something else, but I want to do what you say I should do.
Well, right now I'm telling you, give me over my damn whip and then get your ass down to that basement and help out those meathead friends of yours. Got a special job for you down there, just for your kind of skill set. Big, dumb, stupid, smashing. Do I got you pegged about right?
Well, yeah, about right. I can also dance.
Do I look like I want to see you dance?
I'm not very smart, man. Do you?
Boy,
I'll do it if you want me to.
You might
I'll
be
stop.
twice my
I went to a
size.
stump party last week. Look at this one. It's a 1, 2, 3.
That's it, boy. You got 3 seconds. You know how to count? 3 seconds to get out of my face and get downstairs and help before I get
I can
someone
do
up
it
here
as long
to
as I
throw
use
you
my
off
fingers.
this damn. 3, 2, 1. And he starts calling like he's like starts calling that you're right. Get your ass over here. Show this boy what's right. And you see like this big old fella, kind of as big as Double D, starts like, "Okay, boss," and he's kind of coming on over.
Hey there, you're right. Good to meet you. I'm about to go deal with some rats. I was confused whether or not your boss wanted me to dance or not, because I figure I do what he says.
And he kind of looks over. So the guy, your eyes like looking at Fencer. "Boss, am I supposed to hit him now?" Fencer looks at you. He's like, "Fella, meathead, get down them stairs, and you get yourself in the basement right now.
Yeah,
Hustle. Let's go. Chop, chop."
will do. Hey, can I ask you right to give me directions? I'm dumb as dirt. I don't know where the basement is.
Uriah, show him where the basement is.
I sure do appreciate it, sir. You're the best foreman I ever met.
If he gives you any trouble, if he stalls anymore, go ahead and break his kneecap. Shove his arm in one of the machines. You got that? He's like, yes, sir, boss. And he kind of like grabs you by the arm, like, come on, let's go, boy.
Hey, how would I hire on for what you do, man? It sounds like you got the good job.
Yeah, well, first you gotta be smart. No, I don't think you are. You testing him too much is what you doing. Plus, you too damn fat. Problem. Ain't no way he's gonna like you. Too slow and stupid. He likes people of education.
Well, man. All right, you're right. You clue me in, man. Where'd you get your education?
My mama? She's a smart lady. Yeah.
Man.
She read me all the way up. I was 5, 6 years old. Then I went to the company school. I learned a little how to read. I can read most of the letters. Then I learned a little bit how to write, and I know a bit of arithmetic too.
Man, you're right. I hope you won't think less of me if I tear up a bit, but I wish I had what you had.
And I know where all the bones are that hurt most when you break them. He really likes that kind of information. You know those.
Oh, I know
types of
that.
things.
I do know that. But I need to learn from you some of the other stuff, maybe. So maybe if I stop screwing up so bad, would you show me the ropes?
Roll a persuasion test.
Clever Cletus.
You guys are exploding all night. He's just, all right. We'll see how it goes. This is your first day. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. But you keep on being useful. Maybe I'll take you under my wing, show you what's what. I know a thing or two about Finster too. Help you out a bit. You don't like when people talk to him the way you talk to him. You don't like people playing dumb. He really hates dumb. Really hates it.
Right, man. I'll remember that. And you know what? You're right. I hope you take this the right way. But tonight when I'm saying my prayers, I'm going to say, Lord, thank you for Uriah's mama because she raised her boy right.
Yeah. I did not everybody got no mama. Some people
I
don't
know.
got him.
I wish I had one. But maybe you can give me some of your mama's lessons and it would be almost like I'd had one.
I know my mama's lessons will help you, but I can tell you a few lessons right off the bat. You way too nice. Finster don't like nice.
I can be mean.
We get all paid better when we're mean. They like it when we're mean, them Ashdown fellas.
Okay, man, tell you what, I'm going to take care of these rats and then you show me somebody to be mean to. I'll be mean.
Mean to just about anybody. Anyone not doing their job or anyone doing their job, but doing it in a way that just, makes Finster angry. Something like that.
Gotcha.
All right, get on down there. Hurry up.
All right. Thanks, Uriah.
Joe or Amian, before we hit the basement, you two doing anything?
I know it's largely taking me out of the plot line, but I really, the whole idea is for me to just to be doing exactly what you want so that you'll end up just ignoring me and I can just, listen in and move around. So that's what I'm doing.
Why don't you roll a notice test? We'll see if you just kind of hear like some eavesdropping or something like that, maybe while you're doing this. Amy, what do you want to do?
I still did want to try and get into that office at one point. I figured I would see the interaction where they went up to the office.
Sure.
And right when they leave, I feel like that'd be a good opening. They're probably not going back anytime soon or as soon. So that would be when I want to try and stealth over and get in and see what I can find.
That will be opposed. Roll a stealth test.
Okay.
Oh,
Oops, sorry.
No.
Wrong thing. Sorry. That's supposed to be notice.
you're gonna get caught the second you step off the line.
Yeah. You take 2 steps and you bump into Finster. Young man, where the hell do you think you're going? I didn't say you could go on break. You show up late to a shift, you sit down for 20 minutes, and now you think you can just get up and leave? The hell's wrong with you?
I was looking for you to see if there was more work that you wanted me to do.
So he reaches back on his, now that he has the chain, and he's going to attack you with it. So as he grabs it though, he's like, ah, God, ah. And so I'm going to say that he's going to have to soak, or else he's going to get some blood on his hands. Does 7 exceed your parry, Amian?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And so then, he's supposed to be, why didn't he get his, oh no, it did roll, my bad, I'm sorry. All right, so then let me roll damage. Is it a raise? What's your parry at?
4.
Okay, so it's
Just
not a raise,
shy.
it's just regular damage. All right, 12 points of damage.
How do I negate that?
Vigor
Or
roll
do
to
I just
soak.
take that?
You
Spend a
can-
Benny.
Yeah, so like if you see on the chat, there's like a little Benny button on the far bottom right, so you can click on that to soak. Or actually, it might not show that for you guys.
No, it's a reroll.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Just roll vigor to soak. Spend a Benny and then roll vigor.
Okay.
Man, it seems like Feinster really leaned into that hit. Like he hit real hard. Any chance his hand got tore up a bit?
Oh no, that's what I was
From the
saying.
sharp-
Like I'm gonna have him roll vigor to see if he can avoid a wound. Okay, so I think you're gonna be shaken. It looks like, right?
Okay.
Is that right? Well, actually, what's your toughness?
Toughness is 5.
So that would have been 1, 2. So it has just been 2, and no, actually, you're good. You soak it all.
Nice.
so-
Oh, okay.
All right.
Tough little
You do
kid.
Okay. It hurts. It hurts something fierce, but you take it. But
Yeah.
it hurts really bad. Then I'm gonna roll vigor to see if he can soak the bloody hand from gripping this thing. So let's see.
Let's see.
All right, he does, but he's like, ah, damn it, and he gets super mad as after he hits Amian. He looks down, Amian. You see his hands like all just covered in blood, like his palms all torn up. That dumb damn meathead! What the hell did he do to my whip? Get your ass back on that freaking machine, boy, right now, or I'm gonna stick your head in it.
Pivot like 180 and go back to the machine.
Roll a repair test as you sit back down and try to catch back up onto the
You
network.
still have
All
bennies
right.
if you need them.
Yep.
Oh, you need them.
Yep. That's
Oh no. Oh my gosh.
No.
This is so much fun. Roll twice, please, on the spinning machine. Oh my god.
How do I? Oh, okay. The roll button. There we go.
Okay.
Oh,
Why is everyone rolling as me?
do I?
I don't know
roll
why.
I'm not sure.
Everyone's trying to kill me
I don't know
again.
why.
Here, let me.
'Cause
you
I
should be able to
think-
just click it.
Either on.
If we didn't unselect the token, everybody had defaulted to your token.
All right, so 9 points of damage, which I believe
Can
you can spend a
I can
Benny and try to do it. So
Spend a
yeah.
Benny.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that'll be it's damage with a raise. So you need. Which
Wow.
you did again. You soak it all. You soak
Cool.
all the damage. Now roll the second.
All right.
The second from the table. Okay. So
Close call.
as you sit back down, you reach your hand out. You feel this horrible electric shock go through you. You kind of shift and jitter, and then you can feel your hand, kind of electrical burns on your hand. But then, right as you're kind of getting yourself back in order, like a spindle misfires, and your hand kind of gets caught, and it looks like you're about to get your arm just yanked on into it, but you manage to rip it out just in time, and you're okay. but you can still you hear like Finster behind you being like, "Boy, you break my machine, I will break you." As he does not seem to be sympathetic towards your plight. Let's go over to character Joe then. Bert, how did you do on that notice test before I asked?
I got a 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'm gonna say you overhear a couple folks, and you probably sit down in a group and you're working on a machine where there's people that are kind of gossiping, and you can hear that they're kind of like there's gossip going around about Finster as they see like how they treated like Double D, called him a big old meathead, and see what happened to Douglas and Cletus, and what happened to Amian, and like some people are, again, they're not up for the whole like the general idea of like let's be horrible and mean to everybody. But you do hear them talking a couple rumors about like someone's like, oh, he ain't so bad. Like Finster ain't so bad. I mean, he had a tough life, he had a rough life. Like, I heard that he's just mad because he's just living with guilt and just feeling awful all his life, and he just takes it out on us. Like I hear he had a little baby girl, and kind of gave her up, and his wife died and stuff, and now he's just kind of a bitter old man, just taking it out on us because stuff happened with whatever with his family. So you hear them, and obviously people are arguing and saying that's bullshit. Like,
so Joe's just noting in his head, guy had a daughter that gave up. Look into that. And again, Joe's just not saying anything. Occasionally, if he passes by someone that's like in danger of losing an arm because they're just not doing things well, to shake his head and say, no, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And like you're quickly getting to be like in this little section, there's a bunch of machines, but like in your section where you're at, where there's like 3 or 4 machines by, like you're quickly, like people are kind of like sort of impressed with how quickly you're picking up on stuff, because there's folks here that have been working for months or years. The other thing you hear is like when people are complaining about like, oh, what a tough, cruel man he is. Like, no, he's really just a little sissy man. He's a little chicken boy. He's like a boy just, afraid of his own shadow. He keeps talking about ghosts and like haints and things like that. He is afraid of everything. And he's just a big old bully, man. He's, picking on us because he's afraid of the world. That's what it is. And so like, that's probably like the 2 things like you would hear people, talking about while he's not there. They will never talk about this while he's there.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go down into the basement. We'll say Double D, Douglas, Lisa. You show up early. Cletus, you're not there yet. But you hop on down, and you can see down in this big old basement, there are crates, and there's all sorts of these different, different containers of things, spools of old thread and cloths and stuff like that, machine parts and things for like replacements to the spinning stuff upstairs. So there's plenty of things around here like that you can tell are for the company. But you also notice, well, that there are just a whole like mess load of mill rats. They're just kind of pouring out of like these cracks in the walls and kind of coming up from like little holes in the foundation. And you can see that they're kind of eating through a lot of like the thread and stuff like that, and some of the spare bobbins that are going to be brought up, stairs and things like that. So we can run this as a quick encounter. It's like, so I don't think we've done this yet in either of our Savage World games, but it's like a skill challenge. So, but before we dive into the mechanics of that, is there anything you 3 want to do now that you're down here? No one's here. Like, there's no one down here supervising you.
Any possible ways to get in from outside?
Roll a notice test. Well, Benny,
I got a 3. Yeah, I'm pinning it. Got a 2.
Yeah, I mean, no, you don't really see nothing. It looks like there's like a staircase going down, and then it looks like there's some kind of pulley lift as well. But you don't see any kind of exterior entrances. There's a lot of stuff stacked up all over the place, but nothing seems too obvious.
Did you say there's nobody down here?
Yeah, it's just the three of you. Periodically, someone will probably come down during your time to like grab like parts and things like that. But currently, there's no one around here. Like no one's
Can I-
supervising you.
Can I spend PowerPoints
What do you wanna
to because I noticed that Double D has both a wound and a fatigue,
I do.
so I can do healing and relief.
That'd be fantastic.
What does that look like when it happens? When you do it?
So I had it up last time and I don't. It's definitely like she talks very quietly, but it's definitely like Bible verses that she says, that is her repetition. And then, she kind of does the, kind of rubbing her hands together and lay on hands for them. And she's definitely kind of closing her eyes upward. And she's got some verses that she repeats.
Okay, roll both those checks because you should have to do one for your relief and then one for your. It should be, I think your faith is your casting. It's your casting stat, right? Your faith
Yeah. That's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, so
it should be baked into
first
the system.
is healing.
That's good. That'll get one.
All right, and second is relief. Also a 4.
We'll also take one. So yeah, you should be all cleared up then.
Thank you much.
All right.
Douglas, do you have?
I do have a wound.
Okay, because I can.
But you do also have 2 arms.
Yes, fortunately.
One of them
Fortunately.
looks like a corn on the cob after it's been eaten. That's what it looks like right now. But it's intact.
Just take that off, give you a little tiny rat arm.
So then I will
Take an arrow and a grappling hook and just shove it.
There you go. That
the
was the
socket.
real MVP.
I'm actually hurt that Dan didn't accept it.
Just cut my arm off and replace it with two arrows and grappling
I thought
hooks.
that was a chance for us to bond in our save. There's
All right,
Thunderwolf game.
Douglas, your wound is also taken care of.
Nice.
So Douglas, was there anything else you wanted to do here?
Hmm.
Because Double D was looking for a way out. Luis has been doing some castings. I'll give you one thing if there's something in particular you wanted to do before we.
Gosh, I don't know if I was trying to think of some way I could use my survival skill down here in a beneficial way. That's not helpful.
I mean,
You
it
can
would
maybe use
definitely.
survival.
Go ahead, Jamie.
Survival also entails like how well you know animals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it would definitely be useful in the quick encounter, but you can use it ahead of time if there's something you wanted to sort of learn or whatever, like where they're coming from or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, probably just, figure out where they're going, where they're coming.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
What are the rats doing?
Ooh.
Okay. Damn, you have a D10?
I do.
Survival? Okay. So you do notice that there is a sectional wall down here that was sort of like Double D had looked at it, but he kind of moved past because there was the stacks of crates. But you notice like there's sort of these rifts in it. It looks fairly weak, and you're pretty sure you see a tiny little bit of light coming in from above. And like as you start pulling some crates back, you can see that there's like the sort of the concrete foundation of it has just been like wrenched free, and it's just like dirt and grime, and they're just pouring on out here. But you also notice that like with a little work, you might even be able to like make up some kind of like up to the surface. Like you could potentially create like a hidden way into the factory if you wanted. It would take some time, but you could probably do it.
All right. So we just got to get a hang in there poster to put up over the wall while we slowly spoon dig it out.
So the other thing you notice is that there are kind of these strange looking footprints down here as well. Like they're barefoot, but these are some weird looking feet. Like they're like really big, really wide. Like Like they're not. I mean, I'm not really big. They're actually kind of small, but really wide at the same time with big old toes. And they don't. I don't know. They look kind of odd to you. They look like this. They don't quite look like a. That's gotta be one really fat, like 6-year-old with some weird duck feet or something. Like they're not really sure what that could be, you know. But it's very strange.
Does it look like it's coming and going, or is it just staying down here? Like maybe it's living among these boxes.
It's hard to it doesn't look like there's anyone living here, but you can say it's moved around a bit, like down here. And it's a fairly big basement, but like you can see like it moves from like bits of crate into bits of crate. And you also see like there's some smudge on the wall here or there, and like you can see that there's like a vent that kind of goes upwards a bit. There's like a hole in the ceiling, like someone climbed up it. You know, none of you're all too big to go up it. So whoever went up it at some point had to have been relatively small.
Gonna have to send Amian up it.
It's probably too big for him too. Like, it's fairly small. Like if he was like a 4-year-old or so, you might be able to make it work. But
maybe if I lost my arms earlier, I'd fit.
Yeah. It's at this time we'll say Cletus makes his way down.
All right, now you're right. Thank you again.
All right, Cletus, maybe we can get your help with this. Got a little tiny vent up there that a little man baby duck's going through. I don't know what to do about it. And then we also got like maybe a hole we can make here, but we're gonna have to like move the boxes around to kind of conceal it. And we also need to like kill some rats. Like,
now, it may just be that I'm real stupid, but I have seen some weird shit. What's this about a man baby duck?
Have you seen footprints like these that then go up an event like that?
Would you have?
Oh, hell no.
Would you have? Whereabouts are you from, Cletus?
Let's pull up the map and just pick one that looks fun. Wasn't there something like Hog named or whatever?
Yeah, well,
Or
you're in the
Corncob
Hogback
Gap.
Hills. There's Corncob Gap. Okay.
What do you
All
think,
right.
Double D? Do you want to be from Corncob or from...
Let's take him, corn cob.
I'll tell you what, Cletus, roll a folklore at -2.
Okay. So I'll just roll unskilled. Same thing then.
Okay.
Just for ease.
This is insane what's happening.
Oh my gosh.
Man, I tell you what, I've been some weird places and I've seen some shit, man. I one time had a devil dog bite off my left butt cheek. I'd show you, but there's a lady present.
So you're going to have to come up with a reason for this because I don't necessarily have one. But you know that there is a... Yeah. Okay. This looks like it possibly... Like feet like this, like that ain't no person, that ain't no child. Like it's probably, I mean, it would be weird to find one here, but you think maybe could be a Tommy knocker.
So not a
Now-
man baby duck.
Now with that roll, you would know that a Tommy knocker, it's different than a Deadlands Tommy knocker.
Mhm.
So. You would know the Tommy knocker. It's just kind of like a mischievous fae, kind of just sort of causes trouble, And it's weird for it to be here because that, you don't really find fae kind of in the towns. Like they don't go in the towns much.
I'm going to assume I know about it because of the haunted thing where every now and then if I fumble, like the haint in me just makes me do weird things and I wake up in weird places. Now, I don't know if you all is going to believe this, but one time I woke up and all my moonshine was gone, and there passed out next to me was a little duck-footed bastard just like this. I woke up and he was just drunk enough not to kill me. We chatted a spell. They're tricky little bastards.
Strange.
Yeah, man. And I'll just, Cletus will regale them with what he knows. Like half of it is lies, but there's a kernel of truth in a couple spots.
Okay.
Is this
As-
something that we can use to our advantage here in our goals?
Well, I mean, they like, you know how like fenced in there is kind of mean, and sometimes he just does things for the fun of it. Well, the funny thing is, a lot of times people that think themselves to be real big, they're the exact sort of people someone real tricky likes to go after. Ain't no fun to hit an easy target.
All right, so we'd have to try to find a way to make that thing want to take out that thing up there.
Or are you
Yeah.
thinking that maybe this Tommy Knocker baby duck feet thing is what's pissing in his Cheerios?
Yeah, or it could be a bit of both. But you know what? I did say Mr. Fencer's got himself a gun in there, and I bet this little tricky son of a bitch would love to get a gun. I bet if we promise him a gun, he'll help us. What's worse could happen? Giving a little Faye thing a gun, right?
So
I thought that-
you
I
you
thought
guys
we-
see the crates like in one of the corners just like burst open, and you see a little tiny fella, kind of barefoot. He's got like a pot on for a helmet, and he's like, "I'll take a gun. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Hell yeah!" And he looks like this. I'm gonna show you all what he looks like.
Gosh.
I can't believe it.
Gosh.
Big old wide head, big old sharp teeth.
Give
He's
him
got
a gun.
He's got a pot on. He's like, "You gave me that gun? Hell yeah! I'll help you. What do you want me to do?"
Well, the thing is, man, we got to get old Fenster out of here, but we can't do it all. Obviously, like we need some sort of mishap or something, right? I tried to get him to fall into one of the machines, but the whip went in instead.
I don't need your whole. I'm gonna do Rocket Raccoon again. I don't need your whole life story. Okay, if you want, I'll help you. That's fine. But I want the gun. Give me the gun, the shiny one. It's real shiny, isn't it?
Oh, it's so shy, man. It's even got a handle, all bright and polished, man. So it's sort of thing like it's special to him. It ain't just a regular gun. Like it's important to him. You'd be
Yeah.
taking something that means something.
The Queen don't like us to have guns, but I don't have to tell her. And you don't got to tell
We
her.
ain't gonna say nothing. We're friends.
You ain't gonna talk to the Queen. What's wrong with you? You ain't gonna talk to her. Yeah. I want a gun. Yeah. And
You deserve
bullets,
a
too.
gun.
And bullets. I want bullets. Yeah.
We'll give you all the bullets he's got there.
Yeah. And I want that fella's shiny walking stick too. I want that one too. Yeah. Can you give me that too?
Shiny walking stick.
Yeah. The
I don't know
fella.
nothing about no.
He wears the bow ties. He's got the big old gun. I don't want his gun. It's too big. But I want that walking stick. It's nice and shiny. Yeah. Oh no. You can give me that shiny bulb thing outside of the front of the mansion out there. That big old. Call them houses. Yeah, give me that. Yeah. No. Oh, you can give me that thing that looks like a moon, but like not a full moon. It's on top of one of them places. I think they call it a store. Yeah. Give me that.
You want a store?
No. I just want the moon thing. Yeah.
Hell, man.
Wait, you want all that or one of that?
Tell you what,
Good
man.
choice.
Sounds
I
like
guess.
the gun is the thing that's here.
Yeah, give me
So
the
let's-
gun.
Let's go with what's here. And you know what? As a sign of good faith, why don't we get that moon thing too later? Because I'd love to raid me something out of that store.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
this is a now job and that's a later job.
Yeah. But yeah. So what do you need me to do?
I thought we weren't planning on killing him this time.
I mean, but we just want him. We just want him gone, man. Like just
Nah,
like
I don't want to kill no one. No. Queen
no,
will get
we don't
mad if
want
I
nobody
did that.
killed neither. We
You
either
just want me looking a message. You don't want me killing. No.
Now, what like if all his machines fail and somehow it looks like it's his fault, or if he just falls in and gets all mangled, like not dead. Of course, you don't want to kill nobody. We wouldn't want to ask you to kill nobody, but accidents. I mean, look at poor Douglas's arm here. Look
Wow.
at that.
Oh, hey, yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, that's terrible. Anyway, where's my gun?
Maybe you make it look like he went and shot up the machines for some reason.
I don't want to waste the bullets on the machines. I want to shoot other things. Yeah.
Oh, of course, man. Tell you what, you can help us have Finster have some sort of mishap. That's going to create the perfect diversion for me to go on up and go get that gun.
Right now? You want to do it? You want to do it right now?
What's your thought on just appearing upstairs? And I feel like the commotion will just follow, because
So,
like Louise is still, I'm assuming, a little taken aback by seeing this person.
well, I mean, like it's not like extraordinarily uncommon to see Fae. Like, meaning like if people encounter them, like it's not like, but they're rare, and they usually kind of stick to the Fae, like towards the Feyfell Mountains to the west. Like that's sort of where they hang out. They don't really extend beyond that. I would say that you guys would probably be able to conclude that if you do anything while there's 100 people in that tight room that's hot and sweaty with those death machines that could cause a commotion, someone's going to get really hurt. And it's not necessarily Finster. Like, Douglas almost lost an arm. Double D got hurt. A couple of y'all got hurt. You do something that can cause like a commotion and a riot. People go accidentally bumping into things, or they lose their attention on what they're doing. Someone's going to lose an arm. Someone's going to get killed. So like, causing any kind of riot in here or doing anything that might cause an upswell of everybody in the factory at once could be really, really dangerous.
I mean, I'd kind of rather us have a gun, but
So how can we?
Oh,
So it sounds like
got
an
it.
after hours kind of thing.
I mean,
I
that's
got
what
it.
the hole was supposed to be for.
Ashton,
So like, Mr. Tommyknocker, sir. We
Tommy
promised to
Balky.
get Tommyknocker, sir.
No.
We pro
I'm Balky.
Oh, Balky, sir.
Yeah.
Sir Balky.
Balky. Sir Balky.
Sir Balky.
Balky.
You know where the Finster, the younger one, you know where he lives?
Finster Young. I don't know. I don't even know.
The son of the guy with the shiny stick.
I don't know. Do you have son? I don't know. I don't know. I
All
don't
right,
know what
there's
you people
my-
do. You all look the same to me.
Well, okay.
You would know. I think you would know just from like Ella that he doesn't have a son. Like Finster doesn't have a son.
it's the Ashdown has a son.
Yeah, no. Ashdown had a Worth. Ashdown is like the head of the factory. and that's the
Oh, okay.
nephew
I
of
thought it was
Samuel
father.
Ashdown. Yeah.
Okay.
Samuel Ashdown is like the big boy who's in charge of Ashdown, and he's like one of the big guy, big boy. But like Worth Ashdown is his nephew, and is kind of like in charge of the whole mill. He makes those type of decisions, and then Finster is just a shift boss. Like once your shift is over, he's leaving too. So like in a different shift boss will
okay.
come in. You guys want to think about it? We
Finster.
can kick it back to Bert and Joe and kind of get them
Okay.
to do something else before we cut for the night. So Joe or Amian, do you have something else you want to try to accomplish?
So they've all been in like the basement, right?
For a couple of minutes, yeah. We'll say like for 5-10 minutes at this point.
I kind of want to try and get away again, and because I wanted to go up to the office and see if there's anything to root around up there. And so that's kind of my goal. I want to try it one more time today.
Okay.
And
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and try it again. Like I feel bad telling you to do this, but like it's gonna be really, really difficult for you to do it because it's not really like a hidden way to get up there. You literally have to go up a staircase in sort of broad light.
yeah,
But you can try it.
I guess.
With the way that dice have been acing tonight, you're probably due.
Right. I do want to just try it.
Yeah, go for it.
Like-
Yeah, if you wanted to try it, just roll stealth. But Finster and one of
Alright.
his goons will get a chance. All right, so Finster will roll to notice. Yeah, you.
Can I do a betting to reroll, or
Yep.
am I not able to against?
No, you can do it. Okay.
Damn it!
Yeah, he's like this time it's not immediate. You get like all the way up the stairs and you're almost to the door when you hear like the sound of like the whip. Whoosh. Boy, what in the hell are you doing up here? You know what?
Um,
I don't want to know.
I
And he just like whistles, and he whistles down to the floor, and he kind of holds up like 2 fingers, and he kind of calls them up, and you see these 2 big fellas come up. Each one of them takes like one of your arms, and he's like, bring the little boy out back and teach him a little lesson, why don't you? Teach him a little lesson in manners, and make sure he remembers that you don't go sticking your nose in another man's business. I'm like, yes, sir, boss. Yes, sir, boss. And they just start picking you up, and they start like literally carrying you. Each one of your arms is being lifted up, and your feet are dangling as these 2 big thug guys start walking you out.
all right.
Yeah, sorry, Amian. Joe, the character Joe. Bert, what do you want to do?
You know, like I said, I know it's taken me out of a lot of what's going on right now, but I'm doing the long con.
Oh yeah, and then you're excelling. I just want to give you an opportunity to do something. I
I understand, but I've written myself out of this part, but it's intentional. But I'm
okay.
good.
Yeah, if you're good with where you're at, I'll say you probably even see at some point Amian getting kind of carried out and sort of, kind of moving off, and like they're taking him a place that you don't. Probably nothing good's gonna happen. Joe's probably smart enough to put that together, right?
Oh, in which case, having been around and looked at all the machinery, is there some machines that maybe are not as used, or like if I caused a fire to start, something to distract them from what's about to happen to Amian? I think I can do that. Like just cause a machine that's not in heavy use to spark or just start a small fire. Nothing huge, just enough to get people worried and to distract.
Yeah, I mean, all the machines are in use, but you could certainly try to sabotage one. Everything's in use. Like there isn't a spinning machine that doesn't have people working on it. Like doesn't have some of them, but you can certainly try to sabotage one.
Okay. I do want to try to do it in such a way though that it's not immediately obvious that I was just there doing something on the machine, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you want for that?
It's probably just a repair, I think.
Just a repair. Okay. Well, here we go. Ding. I want this to be spectacular. So I have bennies. I have 3, right? We start with. So I can. What, I just click on the benny and it rerolls? Is that what it does?
It should for you. Yeah.
Okay. That's even worse. I'll do one more. I haven't done much tonight, so I'll do one more. And you can't get a worse.
Can you do that? I don't remember. Can you spend more than 1 Benny to re-roll the same roll, or do you have to take one of the 2?
It's a one-time thing.
Oh, it's a one-time thing.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you have it on, right?
Yeah. Well, Alon, I think gives you a +2 on the reroll.
Yeah,
that's what Alon is.
Alon gives me a +2 on the reroll.
Yeah, I thought there was something.
4 is still a pass, so you're still going to be able to do it. It's just not going to be like super spectacular or anything. Sure. It's just going to like that. This
wasn't meant to
break
be.
Down.
Just something that will alarm people to maybe take some heat off of Amian.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay. So like the machine that you kind of did a little sabotage with, you kind of like reach in, kind of like hit a lever or whatever it might be that causes something to start malfunctioning. A few of the workers start kind of shouting, and at that point, it's loud enough and it's causing like smoke and in such a commotion that the rhythm of the room is disrupted to the point where Finster sees it, and he'll call out to the goons that are taking. He'll call out. He's like, "Uriah, go see what the hell that's about. You don't need 2 of you to rough that little son of a bitch up." And so one of them will peel off and go downstairs and kind of address the issue going on with the machine. But the other guy, so Amian will just have one guy dragging him outside. So it makes it a little bit better.
Okay.
All right.
I like that odd a little bit better.
Definitely better odds. All right. So then in the basement, finish. So we're pretty much at time. But is there something that you all wanted to do, or do you want to think about it for until next
Dig a
time?
hole.
Yeah.
mean-
So there's some real good points that have been made. If we try and get this Finster fella now, it's going to create a whole kerfuffle. Might keep us from getting to that office, and that might keep from getting the gun. And that's just a shame that we cannot abide by. I see we got ourselves a hole here. Maybe we come back nighttime, then we do some like finagling.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
So let's end with a really quick encounter, like an actual quick encounter, which is very much like a skill challenge. Everyone's gonna do a roll. You have there's two objectives you're trying to complete here. One, you actually had to do something about the rats, and two, you want to sort of make the wall, sabotage the wall enough that you all can come in at night when like maybe off shift or something like that. You do know that that the mill does run 24 hours, but the night shift is like, it's different. Like there's like it's like a half shift, so there's not nearly as many people. It's probably easier to move about. Plus it's darker. So each one of you tells me what you're doing, okay? And yeah, and just make a roll. So like, what are you doing either to address one of those two things?
I could punch rats or I could punch a hole in the wall. Which one you want?
Probably the hole in the wall.
All right, I'll punch a hole in the wall.
Okay.
It is stone. Maybe I use athletics to pull some stone, and you use fighting to squish some rats. I want you to break your hands, brother.
All right, I'll go punch some rats.
Okay. Double D, roll a fighting test to go punch some rats.
Can I well, never mind.
All right. So Chuck, what's it look like as Double D starts squishing and punching rats?
Oh, just while flailing around, running back and forth like a toddler, just stomp, stomp, stomp. If I see one on something higher, I'll punch at it. But kicking and throwing, I'll grab one by the tail and whip it over my head and throw it at another group of them like I'm bowling. Just
Toss it up,
just got it.
punch it in midair.
Yeah.
It's a bloodbath in here. All these poor rats squeaking left and right. Okay. Cletus, you're trying to pull some bricks off the wall here.
Yeah.
Okay. Athletics, I think, is fine. Yeah, as you're just trying to use
All
brute
right.
strength here to do this.
I think I'll Benny that.
Yeah, that makes
All
sense.
right. I'm working off the public.
We're working off the public one. Okay, so I'll just re-roll it basically.
Sounds good.
That's better.
Okay.
Better.
Yeah. So what is it? So like they're muddy, gross bricks. You could tell that like the foundation is some kind of concrete, and then like you know when you hit the upper layer because it's like more brick.
Mm.
And so that's when you're like, so as you're pulling them out, like stuff's like falling, like mud, worms, rats start crawling over top of you. But you're able to do it, and you can see like you're trying to pick them out in such a way that the whole damn wall doesn't come collapsing down on you. Okay.
Maybe I'll take some broken pieces of pallet or board here and there to kind of shove something into the mud, so it's got something to kind of
Yeah.
Gotcha.
hold it
Sure.
in place.
Yeah. And you hand a brick over, Double D grabs and smashes a rat with it. Okay.
Got him.
Douglas or Louisa, how are you contributing to this?
I don't know if this is going to help, but maybe I can help with the integrity of the tunnel.
Okay. All right. What do you think?
I think the idea is we want to open it up, but we also want to like seal it up. So maybe that will stop the flow of the rats, but we don't want to make it look like there's, an obvious hole outside.
Yeah.
Some
Okay.
sort of cover that we can move.
Mm.
I think you could probably do maybe like a thievery, maybe, as you're trying to like obscure it. You could do. I mean, I'm open to suggestions on what you want to roll.
Survival, maybe?
Yeah, if only hunters ever created cover.
Yeah, I mean, survival, I guess, could work. It's
Camouflage in the hole.
camouflage. Okay, yeah, I'll take it. Sure.
There we go.
Man, you are rolling on fire today. Like even that crit fail, like it was just a taunt. Sure,
Well, like,
you do
Crit fail and then the worst injuries possible.
Mhm. So probably what you do is like Cletus probably takes some brick and some of the broken concrete, piles it up, hides it maybe in some crates or behind some crates, and then you just kind of take like the mud and just sort of like make a mud sort of like fill in, and you know that like it's going to be easy enough for you all to just sort of like punch through it or push through it as time, when you come back later. Louisa, what do you want to do?
So Luisa's going to just be chucking her throwing knife at rats because that's the job that's going to get us approval or in trouble. So
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll your. All right, you want to Benny that? I guess.
yes, I'm going to Benny that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're throwing these knives and you're just missing, and like Balky the Tommy Knocker is like,
What are you doing? What are you doing? You know you're supposed to hit him. Why are you missing him so much? What's wrong with you? You hit him. You're supposed to hit him. Oh, God, you're terrible. Oh, God, that one. He knows what he's doing. Oh.
I gotta well, pick up some rats and throw them at Lisa's knives.
No. Oh goodness. Louisa, roll an athletics test.
Mm,
Wait, hang on. Let me double check I got that rule right.
5.
All right, 1 second. Double. You failed, right?
I failed in the rat killing.
Yeah.
She got 5 on the athletics.
Yeah,
The
but
most recent.
but it's a dangerous quick encounter. So yeah, not so you would just I think you just take a wound as the idea of like the rats just start sorry, it's the first time I'm doing the quick encounters. I'm just trying to make sure I right. So success is bumps and bruises. Raise is you escape unscathed. Failure is if it's dangerous, you take a wound. So yeah, it's take a wound, Luisa, as like as Double D's throwing the rats at you, like at your knives. One just gets by and it gets on your face, just starts gnawing a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
take a
my
wound.
bad.
That's fine. They're not gross, disgusting creatures or anything, but they're all God's creatures, so it'll be okay.
You
Yeah.
toss them like potatoes. I'm gonna take one and throw it at the wall like it's a tater.
So to wrap it up, Joe is inside. He's watching as like this guy Uriah is there kind of poking around, looking at this machine, trying to figure out what's wrong with it. People are stepping off from it. Finster's got his hands kind of bleeding as he's like cracking the whip inside. Amian, you're being brought out back. And lo and behold, you are on the wall and you hear like this fella's like, boy, I'm gonna mess you up. You don't come into the dang mill and not carry your weight. You might be a scrawny little fella, but you gotta carry your weight. And those of you that are in the basement, you kind of hear this. Maybe you hear Amian's voice through like the crack in the hole that you just get, and like a hoo as like a big old meaty like fist kind of comes and like sort of punches Amian at some point. And we'll end there with like you hearing Amian getting roughed up outside, and you all in the basement with a Tommy knocker and a bunch of dead rats, and Joe, the star pupil of the mill. And that's where we'll stop.
Play of the week.
I cannot
I'm
believe
I'm
Dan
good with
kept his arm.
machines.
You got that rhythm down. You know
Mhm.
exactly what to do.
All right.
Had fun with this job. I'm gonna ask Mr. Fenster if I can do it again tomorrow.
He ain't so bad.
Ain't so bad.
He ain't so bad. I don't see what everyone complaining about.
Throw a rat at a knife.
Yeah. It's so stupid. She couldn't hit. See, you got that backwards.
Yeah, that hurt.
All right, let's do our closing plugs. Chuck, what do the Fetters got going on this week?
Wednesday we've got Thunder Rift Forbidden Lands. Last session the crew finished against the Cult of the Reptile God in the opposite direction. They like tried to recruit the cult, and they actually did a really good job at that. Thursday scheduled for Curse of Strahd. Friday, if Joe's ready, we'll be doing more Anvia play testing. If not, we'll be doing more Quiet Year. And then Saturday at 1 p.m. over on Grim and Perilous Plays, we got some Strixhaven.
Right on. Jeremy, you got a Patreon you want to talk about?
Yeah. Aaron Reese on Patreon. There's comic books, there's art, there's RPG assets, maps. It's a good time.
Right on. Bert, Steam Steel Murder.
Yeah, this tomorrow, Tuesday, we've got some first edition Dungeons and Dragons playing through the Desert of Desolation. Friday is BX Dungeons and Dragons in the Nestara universe. This Saturday on the official Goodman Games channel, running through some Weird Frontiers. And Sunday, maybe some Boot Hill, 3rd edition.
Right on. As for Melissa and I on Lollygaggers, we'll see Friday. We've got Traveler. We're probably wrapping up our Deep Night Legacy scenario. Then on Saturday, we're back to One Ring 2nd edition. And next Monday, we're playing more Savage Worlds, but it'll be our Deadlands week as we alternate between Holler and Deadlands. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Thank you for everyone who hung out. Thank you for those of you who threw some bits, help players out. We're going to go ahead and raid our friends at Diesel Shot. We're playing some D&D. So if you want to hang tight, follow the raid. They'll finish off your Monday for you. And we'll see you later in the week on other places. So bye-bye.